Hello everyone. We are on day 81 and it's been quite a while since I haven't been recording anything yet. Uh, because for obvious reasons I've needed time for reset myself in a good routine. And an old friend come to visit me for 4 days. So I just did want to spend some very quality time with him. And I didn't want to be with him and thinking about Sele or content creation. I just wanted to be very dedicated to the moments I was sharing with him. But through the last weeks, quite a few things to tell today. I did have three important discussions, and two of them was with the person I'm living here with, and the other one was with my best friend. And it was three important discussions where we were speaking with truth about what we were feeling and expressing. There was no filter. And the discussions were just pointing out, and I just started to discuss about this, about the fact that I'm quite not appreciating the frame I'm living here, because I was some sort expecting a lack of liberty inside of myself. And I was blaming the frame I have here for not appreciating my own company alone. So rather to start focusing on myself, I was blaming the frame, I was blaming the person I'm living here with for the walls that had to let me kept unfree from what I would truly want to do in my life. But on those discussions, there were two things that had popped into my head. And the first thing is the urge for me to being fully alone, and obviously it was a lie, and it's very related to what I just come to speak. And the second one is that if I'm not truly appreciating my own company alone, then I will always blaming the exterior for something or somebody to not letting me having my freedom totally. So I'm learning to be soft with myself and smooth with what I am feeling and what I want to do in my present moments on those days. And if I cannot truly appreciate my own company alone, whether I'm with somebody or whether I'm not in a frame where I'm truly happy with, it's because that I'm truly not appreciating my own frame I set in my alone moments. And this is very related to one of the two fears I have at the moment. And obviously the first thing is that I'm still feel to be alone. Because in my first alone moments in life, where it was very dark moments as I was bullied in school, uh, on those first moments when I were alone, I didn't learn to respect and love myself by speaking to others of what I was feeling and what I was living. And it was a true nightmare for me. And I think I just never learned this. And after in my life, I think when I were alone, rather than truly appreciating my own company alone, I was always putting something from the exterior to come to feel me and the lack I were feeling. So it could be something, could be a pet, it could be someone, friends, girlfriend, parents, family, etc., etc. But rather, I was always expecting the exterior to unconsciously come to feel me, and I wasn't truly aware of what I felt inside of me, which was obviously at the moment emptiness. So first thing first about this, and I think it has to be with love in some sort of generally form. Uh, I think you have to love yourself alone first, and by always putting your self-love into your self-esteem, you will grow and you will start to feel yourself. And when you're full, as you continue to start bringing some self-love and your self-esteem, it starts to spill out on the outside. And I think it's when on those moments where you are truly yourself and you are open to share your love with someone or something or a pet, where you don't put the power of this person or this thing to bring love to yourself, because you have enough love for yourself by just putting your self-love into you. I don't know if it's clear, but you will hear me out. And I could sense in the society today that it's not how the couples should work, because they are relying one on each other. And I think first, by truly loving to yourself, you are never feeling a lack of love, so you can truly granting the power to somebody to feel yourself. So this was for the first fear. And the second fear, I will not talk here from where it come from, but I can explain it. For the context, for now, when I'm focusing on content creation and working on Sele, I'm always very tough on myself by just doing more fast, doing more things, doing things more regularly, more days in the week. And it's truly not a good point, because I'm just feeling that I'm only going all in into burnout by doing this. And I don't fucking want this for obvious reasons. But it has to be with the fear on myself when I'm thinking about this. It's because of the fear of missing something. And in the case where having a job here and being not fully responsible and being my own driving force in my life for having no money, I think it has to be with the fear of lacking money. So I'm always putting more reps, more fast, to unconsciously reassure me that it will be some sort of an escape for me, as it could legitimate the fact to make Sele operational sooner than it will be. And I have 3 months left for doing it, approximately. And so in my spirit, into my mind, if I were not doing all these reps more often, more fast, more tough, that's things that are not granting me the reality of making Sele operational sooner. So it's kind of a security, but it's driven by fear. And just by focusing on the fears and going all in with those fears, I'm not focusing on myself, and I'm truly not focusing on God's plan. And that's why I need to be smooth and not listen to those fears. And I always try to keep them as far as I can away from me. And for the moment, as I'm learning how to do it, I think the best results will come through content creation. And by speaking of content creation, I'm sensing it's a bit like a therapy for me, because for obvious reason, it's pushing me to always giving the best for myself, but not being tough with myself. I give the best by truly being smooth and soft and gentle, lovely with myself. As I'm practicing English with a vocal ChatGPT 20 or 30 minutes a day, and now as I'm speaking English, I'm practicing too. And it's always pushing me to improve the quality of my content, improve the quality of my expression, and improve my life. And I think it's always starting with habits, and while doing them regularly, it's how you learn to see big results in the end. You know, by just doing in a day, all the days of the year, at the end of the year, you are a truly better version of yourself than the one which started the year. And obviously, as soon as I'm sharing my thoughts on content creation, it's pushing me to keep learning of myself. And as I'm telling you these fears with all the introspection I can have into myself, well, I think that's a good point too, because probably it has to be with entrepreneurship, where you are just aligning your business with your thoughts and vice versa. And when something is better, then it's always spill out onto the other. So I think that's a sweet spot mechanic where when something has inertia, it's always impacts the other. And when you are doing good things on the one point, you will impact the other and vice versa. And so for now, as I'm probably thinking I will approach the end of the episode, I need to talk about the updates on my project. So Sele, which I've never talked about, but soon, very soon. And content creation. And this week, I managed to find and put myself in a place where I was in a time where I just appreciated the time I took for myself. And it was a very soft moment. And by just being totally slow and peaceful into myself, I just started to ask me questions that I found from an ebook from creators on internet. And it has to be with 4 questions that are always resuming the reasons of why you are doing something. And those 4 questions that I've managed to answer, but I will not share the answers with you yet now. And those 4 questions are: why did I start creating content or building this brand? What do I want to stand for? Who am I creating for? And how do I want to impact my audience? And those 4 questions, I was truly unable to answer them for the last 6 months, because I was enoughly driven by fears. And when trying to respond those questions, nothing good came into the answer. So all the past version of Sele, of my graphical charts, fonts, etc., wasn't good, because it was driven by fear. And when fear comes from the heart, you are unaligned with yourself. So now, as my fears are just going away from me at the moment, slowly but surely, I can see more clearly into my mind for what I want and what I would definitely express into content creation and select. And so I was able to answer these questions. And so for the next things about content creation and select, I would rather firstly focus myself on optimizing the views on my YouTube channel, because I think I missed something, and it has to be related to those questions, those 4 questions, that I've never took the time to defining my audience and who I want to stand for, what I want to stand for, or who I want to stand for. So now I think I have a better direction than previously for making the titles and the descriptions and the tags on my videos, as YouTube is working on a search engine optimization. I think I would better have to trust this and making my content more relative to the audience I wish I would have. You, obviously. And after that, after optimizing YouTube, I think I'm truly on a good direction with this one. I don't think it will take me so long, and I think I will be focusing on this this afternoon for 2 or 3 hours, I think. Not much more. And after, I will be finally posting on Instagram, on bring my short form content into videos and batching them and start posting as I've been more able to deep dive into myself. But I'm quite limited with this camera because of the wide angle of the lens. It's a 20mm, so it's not quite accurate or practical for shooting into closed and tight space. So one day probably there will be a camera more oriented for vlog shooting, and I think I will gain more freedom for filming this kind of content. But you will see. We will see for the content, and when I will be posting those, the third step for the working and content creation part is finally back for Sede to dive deep into making it work and reality and operational. So I will be diving into e-com courses and learn as much things as I can, and after it will be about the manufacturing part, graphical chart part. It's already quite done. Website part, I will update you when I will be ready to do so. This is it for now, for today. And it is enough. I think I will be posting the next episode of Raw, so episode 6, in next week or in 2 weeks. And I just want to share content with you, but I don't truly think it's useful to post content for just posting content, as I'm just doing content creation for sharing you this, and if I don't have things that are truly authentical to me to share, I will not do it. So, au revoir, and I see you very soon. Take care of yourself. I love you. Be gentle, be smooth with yourself, and bye-bye.